Bonjour, Odeo Gichida Indigenous Cause. I'm sharing with you some of my writings right now, which I'm going to submit, and then later on I'm going to do a regular talk show without reading things, But I'm going to share my writing with you for now. Okay, Shiftless Schiff Pencilneck, the Socialist Democrat chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, has been caught in another big lie, told to the public over and over via plenty of mainstream big news coverage, adding their own lies for the breathless few that still believe them. Another big lie was his inside proof that Trump was in cahoots with Russia, and he banked on the Mueller report to prove it. After 2 years of furious digging up thousands of documents and interviews, wasting 30 million of taxpayer dollars, the battalion of never Trumpers couldn't find any dirt. Trump was squeaky clean. Of course, fake media never sets the record straight. The latest big lie by Schiff is that he pretended to know exactly what Trump said to the newly elected Ukraine leader and read aloud, much like I'm doing right now, his bogus report, recounting blatant lies to the public with fake news help. So he pretended he was reading actual documents, which he wasn't. Before the actual taped conversation was made public, Nancy Pelosi jumped the gun and came forth crying for impeachment of Trump. Impeach Trump! Impeach Trump! Then Trump released the taped conversation, which he never had to do. All conversations between leaders of countries are designated classified. No other U.S. president ever released private conversations or were called upon to do so, since it's part of executive privilege, practiced by all countries. The taped conversation proved to be nothing, and by the wildest stretch of the imagination did not resemble what Schiff had read to Congress and said that Trump said. Schiff's lies prompted Congress people to call for his resignation, but he has ignored this, and so has fake news. On top of this, Bill Clinton, when he was the acting president, signed a treaty with the Ukraine leadership in the 1980s to the effect that both countries would aid the other in rooting out illegal activities. So Trump was in compliance with this treaty and the law with his request. Of course, globalist-controlled fake media will beat their chests and continue lying, milking shifty lies until the udders bleed, all playing off other fake mainstream media outlets and liberal newspapers who parrot them. They will never tell the public the truth. Another tidbit for the gristmill is that the so-called whistleblower actually never saw or heard the taped conversation between Trump and the new Ukraine leader, but only repeated secondhand gossip from his old CIA comrades and George Soros-funded groups. A retired CIA agent with strong ties to Brennan, who unabashedly touted his communist leanings when top dog in the CIA. The same position of globalist oil magnate George H.W. Bush occupied before becoming president and orchestrated us into the 1990-91 destruction of Iraq. The Middle East, a hotbed ever since, which continues to claim the lives of the healthiest young men America has. I suspect clandestine actors in the FBI and CIA, naval intelligence, and others have been using leadership positions as weaponized agents against the sovereignty of the United States government and her people. To take globalist 1% control of the world's resources and humanity be damned. Talk about swamp stink. FISA courts, uh, the FISA Intelligence Surveillance Act 1978 was put in place to effectively monitor national security threats with procedures to electronically monitor foreign agents that target USA citizens. It's highly secretive and not subject to news drop-bys. FISA was created to issue warrants against international enemies and not to be used as a political weapon against a U.S. citizen, let alone a sitting duly elected and popular United States president. This is treason. How long will U.S. patriots be slapped in the face by such outrageous acts of sedition? It's time to stand up and reaffirm the Constitution on a higher rung of evolutionary understanding and declare freedom from these would-be despots. We are tired of renegade House Democrats and their counterpart Rhino Republicans. We are sick of their Trump America hate and tired of them not addressing the real problems this country faces. Problems like runaway drugs, women child trafficking rings, the hemorrhaging at the southern border, suiciding veterans, and homeless Americans, to name a few. California residents are currently tired of Governor Newsom destroying California and are busy collecting petitions to recall him and force his resignation. It needs 1.5 million signatures by February 13th, 2020. They are shooting for 2.3 million. That's the avant-garde California we used to know. Let us pray that they are successful in reclaiming their dignity. Isn't it ironic that Democrats worried that Trump would not accept defeat with the 2016 elections of Hillary Clinton? As usual, they project onto Trump their own failings. These bawling losers have still not accepted their loss, nor has the mainstream media, both funded by hiding, livid globalists. These do not serve the American people. Actually, there is only one mainstream TV news channel that has not been compromised thus far, and that is OAN, One America News, that still reports news. They are carried by DirecTV Channel 347. Fox has been taken over and is moving to join the other fake news giants like CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, New York Times, Washington Post, Democracy Now!, Young Turks, etc. Retired Speaker Rhino Republican Paul Ryan has joined the Fox board with the express purpose to shut down Trump support and badmouth him and his public. Donna Brazile, who fed Hillary Clinton the questions before the debate with Trump, was hired on Fox to be a talking head. The only two truth-sayers left are Tucker Carlson, which has been moved to an 11 p.m. slot, and Hannity, who was moved to midnight. All this to influence the 2020 elections. No matter, there are other good news outlets besides OAN. They just aren't on TV. The Internet, which by its worldwide nature lends itself to globalist power corrupts, are busy censoring right-wing voices, and were called into closed meetings with the Congress. It wouldn't surprise me if Internet from its beginning was another setup by deep state actors. Expect more dirt as 2020 draws near. And I want to add to this. I haven't really completed writing it yet, but I had wanted to add something. Why would a North American Indian grandmother care about all the above? It is because our treaties were made with the sovereign United States government, and it's our best interest that the United States be kept that way. And we do not want the United States subject to world dominance by 1% globalist despots who respect no other government or people, therefore would not respect our treaties. We feel socialism is only the cudgel to beat the American public into submission. Recently, President Trump helped his Hispanic constituency celebrate everything they contributed to United States culture. It is well beyond time that the original owners of Turtle Island, the North American continent, were celebrated for all their culture brought to the world via the United States trade exports. A good book which enumerates this is titled Indian Givers by Jack Weatherford, published in 1988 by Ballantine Books. It's time for truth-telling, purification, and transformation of outdated knowledge and often fictitious beliefs. It's time that these were transformed, and that our people be recognized for everything that their culture contributed to the world. And so that's mainly what I wanted to say today. Miigwech, this is my miigwech for listening to me, and this is my debut. My debut.